with Steph Curry in the middle of the floor with the ball. Like they're going to switch it, they're going to double it, they're going to go over the top of it. But if he's out there, you probably go under it because you probably wouldn't mind him shooting that shot, although he can make it. Right? So here's a double ball screen. Right? Where are his eyes?
Over there.
I think they're over there. I think that's the back of his head. So Curry set it up with some sort of in-out, or he's worried about the ball screen, and that's actually in the NBA maybe a mistake. So he tries to go over the top of the screen. Now I hope Aldridge levels him off and pushes him out, right? I'd still be worried about the weak side of the floor. What would be good is if they went and got Clay off of this. So it's a pick and roll. Okay, perfect.
Got him.
This stuff happens to us. And I know we don't spend time practicing on all this stuff. We just say, one, remember when we watched a month ago and we were talking about McGee and how bad he was on pick and roll and he was going to play in the lane and not help out? At least Aldridge is up. So Aldridge is up. They went over the top. Aldridge stops it. Draymond is actually the guy you want shooting threes. That's why he was playing it loose. Who's got this guy? Who's got him? Well, right now nobody's guarding him. Who should have him?
Tony Parker.
No. They're going to double it. So this guy, once the ball is determined, strong side of the floor, coaches will say you zone the middle. You cover the nail, you cover the hole. Now he can't cover the hole. Why?
Because it's
Clay's out there. Right? So that's why we've talked about, we played a game down at Fox, and we had one of our players that we weren't making this shot. But the ability to make that shot and have to be guarded opens everything up. Because he can shoot, all this is open. But if you can't shoot, or they want you to shoot, then you can play the lanes. Right? But anyway, this guy should be playing the nail. Like he should be playing it immediately because Steph can play. Steph can pass it. Correct? It should be an N1. Even if he, like, I'd be happy with that play. I'd be sitting around going, let's see. So if I'm Steve Kerr, I'm sitting around going, we got our best three and open three. We got a layup. And now we're getting this on the first 3 plays of the game. Like, do you like how this is rolling for us so far?
Yeah.
Like I really like it, right? And I'd be fine with that. Right? Who is that? That's Harrison Barnes.
I mean, to me, it's unbelievable. I think
in case you guys didn't know, Tim Duncan didn't start.
So now they're just letting the ball go into the post. Okay? But look how far spaced they are. If that were Shaq, do you see how far he has to go to dig it out? If it were Shaq. And this is stuff that I've been thinking about for whatever reason the past couple of days, is if you have a really good post player, you've got to be more spaced, because if they have to dig it out, you want them to have to cover more ground to dig it out. Does that make sense? Like if we're good here, especially if you can do what? Shoot it. Then you can't dig it out.
What do you mean by dig it out?
Like once that ball, here's what most NBA guys do, this is a Majerus thing. Majerus used to say there's only like 5 or 6 post guys in the NBA that can pass the ball off the dribble. So what you're going to find is, if this ball goes into the post, what you will find is people are going to be on a drop. Right? This is something you would learn as you get older. Every ball's in post, and let's say Ethan's got the ball and I'm guarding the lampshade, I'm going to be on some sort of drop. Like right here, this is a 50-50 drop. This could be like 80% drop, right? If he's really good. If I'm guarding Klay Thompson, my drop could be 10%. Like I'm not leaving Klay. You have to know who you can drop off of. You have to. You have to know who you're playing. You have to know who has the ball. But in the NBA, Majerus used to say only 5 or so people in the NBA in the post can pass off the dribble.
Handoff.
So what people do is they'll be on a drop, and the scouting report will say, come on the dribble. Come on the second dribble. Right? So people are going to, like, he's on a decent drop, but what is Tony Parker doing right now? I mean, not rolling, but he's just he's moving. He's getting away, because what's Clay got on him? Tyler, sit up. What's Clay got to do? Clay's got to go with him, right? If he cuts through this way, Clay's got to go with him, and somebody's probably going to replace. So you're going to cut, replace, cut, replace, cut, replace. Okay? So all that, right? So the ball goes into the post. See how Tony goes away? He doesn't see his man. He's got to stay there, and I'm interested on what Kawhi's going to do. One dribble to the middle of the floor. 2 dribble, 3 dribble. Good. Play that. So they didn't come on the dribble. So already, like they've got a no scouting report. So already, to me, if I'm watching this game or if I'm scouting this game, I'm like, okay, when that guy, whoever that was, do we know?
Aldridge.
Dial. So when Dial catches the ball, we're not doubling. That is the guy maybe we want shooting. And they actually played his left shoulder, and they're like, we're going to cut him off. Like, that is the shoulder he wants to turn. How quickly did they get the ball up the floor?
Quickly. Fast.
Quickly. How many people does San Antonio have back?
All of them.
All of them. This should be pretty good. This should be pretty good. Do you notice we're on this side of the floor? We're running over there. But look, you see for the most part, they flood the lane in transition, ball side. Like they're flooding the lane, except for him. Why? Why is he not flooding the lane? Huh? Because he's got Clay. Right? You have to know all this stuff. Try to lock in, guys. Right? So they level it off.
We've seen them successful.
Good. And he kept running. So what did Kawhi mess up? He doubled the ball and the ball was controlled. Right? And then this is, we call it backflow. He's got the backflow of the big that took the ball out of bounds. Yeah, John.
Did Kerr relieve dribble and then come back and then pass it?
Could he have or did he?
Or did he?
I didn't see it. I don't think he did.
Busting up both.
Good. Okay. All right. Listen. Real quick. So this all started by mistakes. This whole series started by a mistake by who? Kawhi. Kawhi doubled the ball when it didn't need to be doubled. I think you got to go, bud. So he doubled the ball when it didn't need to be doubled. We had a big running down the floor Draymond that got the ball from him, correct? Because he caught the ball here, who has to help? This guy. Who's this guy? Who knows?
I think it's pressure McCall.
Okay, so McCall's there, whomever it is. That's the guy guarding. Who, if you were looking at this and you were Golden State and Steve Kerr, who do you want getting this shot? Look at it.
Clay.
Why?
Because Danny Green's probably going to go to the corner.
This guy right here is going to have to cover the ball because the ball is the most important thing. So he's got, this guy helped off this because Kawhi messed up. He's got to run over there, and if he should be a greedy receiver like we've talked about, have his hands ready because my man's not going to be able to leave who? Curry, right? So I have not watched this game, and I have no idea, but that's what I would be thinking. Wow, they didn't even get the pass off. Didn't even get the pass off.
Thompson's shot is short. With a nice save. Parker comes the other way.
Ball screen.
Aggressively penetrates.
See, look at how the floor spread. Ball screen. Draymond doesn't want to play it up top.
Scored 130.
Blows out.
Leonard picks it back out. Parker. Parker pass inside.
Okay, this is what I want everybody to really recognize, especially everybody, especially our younger guys. Just what is the one consistent thing about Clay?
He runs.
He's always out wide.
He's always out wide. He's always out wide. All of you guys, for the most part, at some point in your careers, you are not going to be the primary handler. Like my Tyler handles it a lot. Carson handles it a lot. Owen handles it a lot. But at some point, somebody else will be bringing it up. He's always on the sideline almost. He's always. And then this fan is always up barking orders for something. Like this guy's always screaming at everybody. Right? Don't ever be that fan where you're like sitting there front row yelling at Clay.
That's what I do.
All right? But look, Barnes is wide. Hopefully but here's the ball has so much attention because of that. Right? So he levels it off.
One on the block and that time dribble penetration.
Man, they got 4 people on the same side of the floor. Stay with us, guys. Guys, stay with us. What time do we have? Who knows? Sit up, Tyler.
10:06.
Okay.
Last game Spurs played was Thursday against Portland. Parker had a record game, 18 points, season high, 16 assists. As they beat the Blazers for their fifth straight win.
Boom. Look, this is what I like. Watch, guys. Stay with me. We only have like 10 more minutes. Watch. This is really good. Golden State's switching everything. They're switching everything. If you don't do one thing in switching, you're going to get your tail beat. What do you think it is? If you don't talk. If you don't talk, you're going to get your tails beat. Watch all 3 of these guys. All 3 of these guys. The ball goes into the post. Actually, there's going to be a high post flash, I believe, right here. right? So there's the flash, okay? I do like it that Barnes has his hands up. I do like it that this guy's competing to get around, because if he throws it right here, they're going to have a dunk. Clay should be in there a little bit more, but watch what's about to happen. It goes in there. It is going into the post. So now they got him where to want. Come on. Ball's in the post. 3 guys. Kawhi's cutting through. I think Steph was guarding him. I think Clay's guarding here maybe. Okay, but watch. What's Steph doing?
Talking.
If you have a hand up, it looks like you're talking. So there's one. What's Clay about to do? He was pointing. What's my man doing? Pointing. Like, all 3 of these guys are pointing. All of them, except for Steph, have vision on the ball. The ball's on the dribble now. Now, the closest person to double is going to be 40, Barnes, correct?
Yeah.
But it's who's he guarding? So that's a hard, like, what would you guys do? What would you do? What would you be more concerned about? Would you be more concerned about Aldridge scoring in the post?
Aldridge.
Or would you be more concerned about my man getting an open 3?
Aldridge.
Because Parker
cannot shoot at that age.
He's pretty far.
I don't know.
he had like
Let's
2
flip it
open
around.
threes.
Let's say that's Draymond Green with the ball and Steph Curry there. What would you rather have? You're not doubling, right? Right? You're never going to probably double. I like that all 3 of those guys are talking. And he did. He kind of rolled into it, right? Let's see. The closeout. And he got the shot. His hands are up.
Parker walked downtown.
Yeah, you can't
Puts a rebound over Rush.
Yeah, Kawhi.
Kicks it back out.
Open shot. Let's see what they do. 2 more clips, guys. Ball screens in transition. Guys, stay with me. Ball screens in transition are really hard to guard because nobody's set. Steph's going to be able to turn this and space it and drag dribble out. He's going to have to make a decision. The lane's not plugged. There's all sorts of things going on. That's why, Holden, I don't get after you, but I kind of yell from the bench on occasion, like if it's kind of this tempo of a rebound, like go ball screen, like quickly go ball screen for Carson or Kyle, and like let's get it going, right? Because it's so hard to guard because now 2 people are here. Look at how tight they are. I think that's Clay, right? Look at 2 people here. Okay. Here's how you play it though. He's got to be further over, and he's covering the hole. Did he pick his dribble up because of a double team? No. So he's doing what? He's doing what? Like a relief dribble?
2 best teams.
Okay, watch. Now, this is interesting. Who sees what's going on here? I love this stuff.
He's about to shoot it.
Okay. Right, here's the thing. Like pick and roll in the NBA. This will be our last clip. But pay attention. Pick and roll in the NBA is interesting because it is based on personnel. This is who? Barnes?
Yeah, Barnes.
Okay, I don't know if he's a good 3 or not. He's not. He's okay. This is what's interesting. Here's the phrase. They are zoning the middle. They have a guy at the nail. They have a guy in the hole. They double team the ball. And if he were a 3, this is what you do. You would take here. You would take the next pass out. The guy that doubled, which is Aldridge, would then go to the hole. So whenever you double team, you immediately go to the hole. And these guys stunt accordingly. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Except if he's not a good 3. What if he's garbage? What if that's me? Like, please shoot. We want you to shoot. I'm going to cover the nail, hoping that Coach George shoots it because he's garbage, and I'm just going to stay solid here, and he would just kind of run back. But it looks like Kawhi does not want to guard him, doesn't he? Like the other possession, Barnes sprinted back out to Tony Parker, right? So here, that's the shot. I'm hoping that is scouting report defense. Like they're sitting around saying, now he's doing a good job of not letting him. Look at how just having 2 great shooters, what that does to you. Are they on those guys? They have to be. That's why when we play and we tell Braden to just chase people around because we don't want him getting the ball, right? Isn't that it? Like you have to know what people can do, and then you've got to figure out like we want him shooting like the ball 20 times because we'll win. We don't want them or them shooting 20. Kawhi did not want to guard him. That's the shot they want.
Does it mean more, or you just try?
You understand that? That's exactly it, right? Last possession.
It is another game. You like to say you're trying to take that.
Uh-oh. Got the ad. This will be the last one. Those are big dogs, guys.
I see Graham Popovich.
Okay, hold on. See the ball screen in transition, even though it's a dribble handoff in transition? How many times has Kawhi peeked with the ball since we've watched it?
30 times. Every time he's caught.
Every time he's caught it, he's peeked, right? What is a peek? What is he doing when he peeks?
Fake shot.
I think he's shooting.
You think he's shooting that? He might be.
Yeah, I think
It looks like he's releasing it.
He got like a C+.
Man,
It's his shot kind of.
that looks, it looks
like his
goofy.
hand's already straight when
He's 2 steps off the lane, or off the 3-point line, and he has peeked every other time.
Can't fool yourself.
So he peeks, he rises up, but what did he do to Draymond? Just by peeking. He's peeked 3 times.
He stood up.
He makes Draymond stand up, and he's always getting, and he's really good at getting left, right? Now, if my man spaces here, last play, if he spaces here, and these guys attack here, and they don't throw it to the rim, he's not leaving, it looks like. It's all about spacing when the ball's on the floor. Keeping the floor spread when the ball's on the floor. The ball's on the floor. He peeked 3 or 4 times, he's caught it. And he's driven it. Look at how he's spaced. Is he in a good position to score? Does he have a runner? Are all these guys, there's 5 guys flooding to the ball, right? There's 5 guys. Look at how even Tony Parker shifted over to stay in his line of vision. Is everybody spaced?
Yeah.
3, almost 3, rim, 3. Everybody spaced, 5 guys are on the ball. And the best player got, why did he get there? Listen guys, why did he get there?
Peek.
All because he peeked. He caught the ball, he even stood up. Did he was it a short fake or was it an exaggerated long shot fake? An exaggerated long shot fake got Draymond to stand up, and look where he got. Is it simple? Like, do we work on that stuff?
Yep.
Last night.
We do. It's just basketball. That's why it's the whole thing. He got to the hole, and if he's in there, then it's going to be it would be a block, right? So he gets to the mouth of the rim.
The 2 best teams in basketball, chances are they never see each other down the road. So if you don't fool yourself and tell the truth, you look forward to
Please make this.
Look at how they run. I have no idea who wins this game.
Hey!
All because they run, right?
Hey, can we just watch it now?
Hey, we'll leave this running.